Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone. Today I'm going to do some presentation about my final year project. Basically, my final year project is in data mining with the title The Implementation of Business Analytics Architecture on Crime Pattern Analysis. So, what is business analytics? This is the definition of business analytics from three authors, and what I can conclude is business analytics as the practice of iterative, methodical exploration of an organization data with emphasis on statistical analysis, and it is used by the company to committed the data driven on decision making. Next is the crime pattern analysis. There are also the three explanation about the crime pattern analysis. So what I can conclude is the crime pattern analysis as the law enforcement function that involve the systematic analysis for identifying and analyzing the pattern and also the trend in crime, where it can help the law enforcement agency to deploy the resources in the effective manner. Next is the types of crime analysis. There are several types of crime, and my project involved in the administrative crime analysis, which is focused on providing the summary of data, statistic and the crime trend information to the police officer. Next is the problem statement, which is the ineffective patrolling made by the police. So that currently the patrolling route is based on the arranged schedule, where the schedule is prepared by analyzing the past criminal data, where police need to analyze each of the record of the crime record manually, so that from the analysis, the the most frequent crime area will be the focus for them to do the patrolling. Nevertheless, crime rate still does not drop. So the objective of my project, there are three objectives, which is the first one is to identify the crime pattern analysis based on the current crime data. The second one is to implement the current crime pattern analysis by using association data mining. And the third one is to visualize the finding of the implemented pattern analysis. Next is the types of data from case study, which is from 4 past case study, and my project is focused on the time and location, which where later on I'm using to propose the patrolling schedule, so that I need to focus on time and location. For the project methodology, I'm going to use the adapted QuizDM, which is consists of 6 phases. The first one is business understanding, then data understanding, data preparation, modeling, model evaluation, and the last one is deployment. So let us proceed to the data understanding phase. First activities involved in this phase is gather and collect the data. So I need to gather and collect the data, where the data is from the secondary source, which is from the kaggle.com, where the crime data is from Baltimore, Maryland, US. And the next activity is explore the data. So after I gather the data, I need to explore the data since the data is from the secondary source. So it is difficult for me to get the direct explanation about the data. But then I need to explore the data by going through each of the attribute in order for me to understand the description of each attribute. So next phase is data preparation. For the first activity is select the data, where from the raw data that have been gathered, I need to select the suitable data to be used in my project, and I'm not going to use all of the attributes from the raw data. after I select the data, I need to clean the data. The data cleaning activity in the data cleaning activity, I need to ensure the data that I have that have been selected are not consist of null value or any outliers, so that in order for me to have a clear picture whether my data consists of null value or not, I need to convert the data into graph so that I can easily identify it. In order for me to do the cleaning process, I'm going to use a software named Altery, and I decide to remove the null value instead of replace the null value because it might replace the various value and the analysis might be wrong, and this is the result of the cleaning process. And then the next activity is data formatting. In the data formatting, I need to reformat my data, which is the attribute crime time. From the raw data, it consists of hours, minute, and second, but then I decide to reformat and just take hours in my analysis. Next activity is data reduction. In the data reduction, I need to separate my data into three different datasets, which is dataset crime based on hours, crime based on types of crime, and crime based on quarterly. Quarterly means I separate the data into 3 months. For the modeling phase, I need to select the modeling technique and also the algorithm that I'm going to use. So the modeling technique is association analysis. Association analysis is the analysis to see the relationship between one attribute with another one attribute. From all of the separated dataset, I'm going to do the association analysis by using the RapidMiner, and the result is going to show like this. This is the association rules. How to read the association rules. It is consists of premise, conclusion, support, and confidence. For example, the first rule: if crime happened at Park High Avenue, it also happened at Broadway. The support 0.556 shows that from the all of the data, Broadway appears 0.556 times, and confidence shows value once, means that Park High Avenue and Broadway are 100% appear together. So, the next phase is model evaluation. In the model evaluation, I need to ensure that the rules generated are strong, which is the support and confidence need to be more or equal the minimum support that I have set in the RapidMiner. For the deployment phase, I'm going to create a dashboard, and for the last pages, this is the important page, which is I need to have the business strategy or recommendation to the police, which is I recommend to do the patrolling schedule by using the business analytics. So this is the result and conclusion. For the first dataset focus on hours, which is I'm going to do 2 experiments. For experiment 1, I'm going to set the value support and confidence into 0.4 and 0.7. The value of minimum support and confidence is from Zakaria and Eman. For the second experiment, I'm going to set the value minimum support and confidence into 0.3 and 0.6, which is from the Bruno and Letmar 2014. This is the example. For the first rule, it shows that when crime happened at Park High Avenue, it also happened at Broadway. The support 0.556 shows that from 984 record of crime, Broadway appears 0.4556 times, and confidence shows value once, means that the Park High Avenue and Broadway are 100% appear together. For the experiment 2, with the value support 0.3 and confidence 0.6, from Bruno and Letmar 2014. For the first rule, it shows that when crime happened at Broadway, it also happened at Park Hyatt Avenue. The support shows value 0.556 shows that from the record of crime, Park Hyatt Avenue appears 0.556 times, and confidence shows value 1 means that Broadway and Park Hyatt Avenue are 100% appear together. I'm going to do the experiment 1 and experiment 2 to all of the separated dataset, which is dataset based on types of crime and also dataset based on quarterly. I will show the example for the experiment 2 with the minimum support 0.3 and minimum confidence 0.6. It shows that there is no rules generated when I set the minimum support and confidence into 0.30 and 0.60. So what I can conclude from the three separated attributes, I decide to use the dataset focus on hours. Because there is no dataset that does not generate any rules. Let me show my dashboard. Which is my dashboard. I publish it into the Tableau public. So this is the home page, where in the navigation button it consists of 7 pages. Consists of home page, about data, this is analytics, famous crime, crime by hours, crime mapping, and the business strategy. For the about data, it consists of the data description so that user can understand description of each attribute of the data that I'm using in my analysis. In this is the example of the data, and this is the some explanation about the data, which is the secondary data from Kaggle.com. This crime data is happened in Baltimore, Maryland, US, started from January to December 2017, which is the crime data it happened in 2017. For the business analytics, it shows some description or some explanation about the crime analysis, where it consists of bahasa, so that user can understand the description well. So this is the association process in RapidMiner, and this is the result shows, example of results produced from the association. And this is the famous crime. For the famous crime, it shows the famous crime happened in Baltimore. So user can read the description of the graph. So graph above shows the famous crime happened based on total incident. The larceny shows the highest numbers crime happened, and rape only happened 127 total incident. By the crime by hours, user can see the pattern of crime based on types of crime for each time. For example, for the burglary, there are a lot of crime happen at 1 a.m. and it start decrease until 5 a.m. and start from 6 a.m. it start decrease until at midnight. This is how the crime review for each hours based on types of crime. And then for the crime mapping, it shows the types of crime happen based on neighborhood. So in the map above, it shows the crime pattern for each neighborhood. The large bubble, for the large bubble here, it shows there are a lot of incidents happen at that time. You can zoom in to have a clear picture, you can also zoom out. So for the business strategy, from all of the separated data and that have gone through the modeling process, and I'm going to choose the dataset focus on hours because all of the dataset have produced the support and confidence more than or equal the minimum support and confidence, and there is no dataset that didn't read any rules. So user can select time if they want in order for them to have a clear picture of the location that they need to do the patrolling. So that, for example, at 12 p.m., for example, if the user want to see the schedule at 2 a.m., so that it shows for location 1 until location 5. That's mean the police need to do patrolling at this location at that time. Police need to do the patrolling. So I think that's all from my presentation, and thank you for your attention.